Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Cooking with Kimmy, where I make cooking simple. Today we're going to be making some butter chicken. I have a series on my TikTok where I take my dad all around the world with different cuisines. Today we are in India and we're making some butter chicken. All the ingredients will be listed below, so let's make it together. So we're going to start off by seasoning our chicken breast. I've already chopped and cleaned my chicken breast off camera, so we want to get our chicken breast into bite-sized pieces. Next, we're going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of oil. I personally find that whenever I'm seasoning meat, oil helps the seasonings to stick better, so I added 2 tablespoons of oil. Then we're going to go in with ginger, garlic, and fenugreek. Then we're going to add the following spices. We're going to be adding salt, Kashmiri chili powder, turmeric, and Garam masala. I will be adding all the ingredients in the description below just in case I mess up the names of anything that I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and add all that into my chicken breast, and then we're going to also add 1/3 cup of yogurt, and then we're just going to massage that in, ensure that every piece of chicken is evenly covered and coated. We're going to put that in the fridge and let that marinate for a few hours, preferably overnight. But if you're like me and you start the day of, you just want to leave that in the fridge for minimum 1 hour because there's so much more to do to prep for while that's in the fridge. So we're going to let that sit in the fridge for 1 hour while we go ahead and prep the vegetables for the sauce. For the sauce, we're just going to roughly chop some tomatoes, onion, and garlic. I say roughly because all the sauce is going to be blended, so you don't need to spend a lot of time chopping up your vegetables. Next, we're going to go ahead and brown our chicken, which means we're going to add it to a frying pot with heated oil. We're going to cook it on both sides and brown it 80% of the way. We don't want our chicken at this step cook it all the way through because once we make the sauce, we're going to cook our chicken breast in that for a little while as well. So we don't want our chicken breast being overcooked. If you ever had overcooked chicken breast, you know what I mean. So we're going to cook it at this step 80% of the way, and then we're going to remove it from the oil, and we're going to keep that pot as is because we're going to use it to make the sauce. Once we've removed all our chicken from our pot, we're going to go ahead and add a generous amount of butter, unsalted butter, to our pot. I added 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter, and then to that pot, we're going to add onion, garlic, ginger, tomato, and chili pepper. I opted to use 2 chili peppers instead of 1 because I do prefer a little bit more of a kick. So I added 2 chili peppers to that, and I let that saute down for a while. After letting that saute down for a while, I'm going to go ahead and season my pot with the same seasonings that I use to marinate my chicken, which is the turmeric. I added chili powder, garam masala, and turmeric, and we're going to season our pot with that. I noticed at that point that I need a little bit more tomato, so I went ahead and added some tomato paste to a separate container, mixed it in with some water, and added that to my pot as well. Once I did that, I just let that cook down for a little while longer, and then I added my heavy cream or whipping cream. Here in Canada, we don't have heavy cream, or my supermarket doesn't have it, so I used whipping cream, and then I let that saute down for another 5 to 8 minutes. Once that was sauteed to my liking, I went ahead and removed the pot from the stove and let that cool. Right when I was about to blend my sauce, I realized that I was missing my cashews, so I went ahead and added half a cup of cashews and then began the blending process. The blending process is just adding all your sauce to your blender and blending until smooth or blended until pureed. After this step, a lot of people will strain their sauce to have that smooth, velvety smooth sauce texture. I didn't feel like doing that, so once my sauce was blended, I went ahead and just added everything to the frying pot as is. Once we've added the sauce back to the pot, we're going to allow that sauce to warm up. We're going to warm that sauce up on a medium heat. Once the sauce has warmed up, we're going to go ahead and add the chicken back to the pot. Once the chicken is added to the pot, we're going to allow that to cook for 10 minutes on a medium to low heat. Just keep in mind that before we cooked our chicken to 80%. So we're going to allow that to cook for the next 20%, and we're going to let that cook at a slow pace for the next 10 minutes. After those 10 minutes, your chicken is ready to be served. Bon appetit. I really hope that recipe was very helpful and simple enough for everyone to follow. I went ahead and added a bit of whipping cream to the top of my butter chicken. I also added some leaves to take some pictures. I felt like this is the aesthetic butter chicken picture, so I went ahead and added those. But after 10 minutes, your chicken is ready to be served. I served this dish to my very Jamaican dad, very, very Jamaican dad and my very Jamaican mom. My dad did a review, so that video will be posted shortly after this. So this is the finished product. I served it with garlic naan and jasmine rice. So again, I really hope this recipe was simple enough for everyone to follow. Please consider following the page. I'll be posting a lot more recipes. Very simple, easy to follow along. Thank you for watching. Bon appetit. Bye.